they've gone up about $60,000 to $90,000.
People in Hamlin and Horizon West are going to want to be over here.
They're just transferring their deposits.
I would save the money, live here, and then drop a pool in. All right. Welcome back to more FLA Homes. If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian Clay. Alongside me is one of our real estate rock stars on the team. It's the Knockout King. Chris, what's up, brother?
What's good, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Community breakdown for everybody. We're in Clermont, Florida, Parkside Trails. I like when you're educating me about a community, right? Or anybody on our team is educating me about a community. Somewhat new, at least to 2025. So interested in learning a little more, asking some questions for our people out there. But for everybody that's looking for new construction, you need to freaking pay attention. Take them home, Chris.
That's right. We are back in the Clermont area with Parkside Trails by Pulte Homes. This is a great alternative for families that are looking to purchase real estate in Winter Garden, or even families that have been born and raised in Winter Garden or in Lake County that are looking to buy their first home or potentially a townhome. This could be a great alternative, a really good option for you.
Let me show everybody where we're at. Just kind of get us cranked up here. So here's Florida, for those of you who are not from Florida. So Chris was talking about Winter Garden. So here is Clermont, and Clermont runs, I always think of Clermont really owning a lot of Highway 27, which is this major corridor. Right in here, you have what's called the Olympus project. Very big project. We spoke about it on the channel a lot, so look into that. But when you start to push deep in here, you run into this wall, and Parkside Trails is in here. But just to the east of that, and we'll talk about how that could potentially connect here one day, you have Horizon West, which is a part of Winter Garden. Let me just show you all of the things you're going to need. 10 to 16 minutes away from a Publix. You're about 16 to 22 minutes away from Hamlin Town Center, which is a part of Winter Garden. 40 to 55 minutes away from the Orlando International Airport. 24 to 35 minutes away from Disney. About 35 to 45 minutes away from Universal. And we have the Orlando Health, one of their facilities, about 16 to 20 minutes away. So proximity-wise, that's where you're located. And we're going to get into more about the community in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this community, there's going to be 5 phases, about 948 homes. They're currently in phase 1 that just opened up the end of February, beginning of March. And they have their townhome series that they're offering townhomes for interior and exterior home sites where you can do a to-be build. They're also offering the Classic series, which is their 50-foot home site series. And they're also offering their Estate series, which is their 60-foot home site series. And between these 3 different series, you've got about 18 different floor plans to choose from. HOA and CDD running about $275 a month to $350 a month.
People out there, you better have your money ready.
People. Yeah, but $275 to $350, and that is including 1 gig of high-speed internet. So it's a quality community that is right now going through a process of doing to-be builds. You've got lot premiums ranging anywhere from $0 to $175,000, and
you didn't make a mistake on that one.
I didn't get that right. No, $0 to $175,000.
Yeah, that's real, people. But hey,
right.
Look, when you start to get those premium lots, right? You start to get into the estate series, and it's backed up to water or conservation or on a corner. They like to hold those lot premiums, over people's heads, like, come and get it. Now, hey, we have a little trick on how we negotiate for those types of things. Make sure you reach out to us. What else do we have?
Yeah. Absolutely. Base price for these homes are ranging anywhere from $400,000 to about $850,000. And then you've also got square footage ranging anywhere from 1,600 square feet to about 4,300 square feet. You've got bathroom counts from two bathroom to 6 bathroom, bedroom counts from 2 bedroom to 6 bedroom. So there's a ton of variety in here. And when you're going about the process of building your first home or maybe your second or third home, there's so many different variables and there's so many layers in this community that we're going to get into.
Just take a look at this, everybody on the screen. Like this section of Clermont looks like this. This is what even parts of Horizon West still looks like today. A lot of land, a lot of development, but we've shown you on the map, you're not too far from a lot of things. Now here, let me show everybody what the future amenity center will look like, because you did say that it was like 2027 when the amenity center was expected to be done. Yeah. So you have 7,000 square foot clubhouse, resort style pool, fireplace pavilion, which is all cool. That whole pool section in my mind is going to be really neat looking. Pickleball courts, tennis courts, mail kiosk, community garden. Interesting. I love when they say stuff like community garden or like butterfly garden. Hopefully it's not just a few plants just sitting like that. A community garden should be like these little areas that maybe you can plant some stuff, and that'd be really, really nice. A play field, 6x6 size for 6 versus 6. Okay, let's see what that's all about. Dog park, fitness center. That's cool. Okay, so 2,500 square foot fitness center. So you also get the gym inside of your community, which is really, really cool. Flex room. Okay, cool. Interesting. Now the only somewhat of a downfall to this is 2027. We're talking 2 years from now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of patience that comes with buying in this community. Maybe some families are taking into consideration, why should I be paying a CDD fee or for something that I'm not going to be able to enjoy until 2027? And that is something to definitely take into consideration. But when you factor in the potential, and we say it all the time, there's a ton of value in buying into a community extremely early, especially when they open up. It's just due to the equity growth that you can experience almost immediately.
Give them like we say it all the time, right? Some people are probably like, these guys are trying to get us to buy a home in this community. What were the prices in this community on average, and then where have they gone in the last, I don't know, 3-4 months?
I mean, in the last 3 or 4 months between their classic series, they've gone up about 20 to 30,000 just in their base price alone, and in their estate series, they've gone up about $60,000 to $90,000. In their estate series, which is the 60-foot home size series. So what that's telling us is that the estate series, they're selling a ton of homes, and what we're experiencing and noticing is that many families that are purchasing Pulte homes in the Winter Garden area, they're seeing that they can purchase a home for about 150 to $180,000 less expensive in this community. So what they're doing is they're just transferring their deposits from the homes that they currently are trying to build in communities like Silverleaf Oaks or maybe a community like Winter Grove that's also in Winter Garden. They're just taking advantage of the fact that you've got a significantly low base price, and maybe Pulte knows that. So they're going to be trending the price upwards, especially when they've got 5 phases and almost 1,000 homes to build.
Dude, man, that's going to take a while to build those out. But listen, the difference between Parkside Trails and Silverleaf Oaks, as far as proximity goes, or this is in Horizon West, which is Winter Garden. I was like, I had to breathe there. This is in Clermont, right? So you have a little more proximity to things like maybe, Hamlin Town Center right now, but in the near future, right? I think so. We already seen prices go up, like you said, 20, 30, $40,000 in
Yeah.
a few months. Whenever this connector happens right here, right? Because I was just showing everybody. Right now, you have to go down and you have to go around and here, and just to kind of get to some of the stuff that this community might have. And how much more do homes in this community cost than out here, Chris? Roughly.
Roughly about 60 to $80,000 depending on the floor plan, but specifically it's a classic series. So yeah, you've got about a 60 to $80,000 price difference, which is
Okay, when this
massive for some
freaking
people.
road connects, okay,
Yeah.
when this road connects, it's not going to make sense in my opinion, right? So New
Yep.
Independence Parkway is going to end up connecting all of that. And then, in my opinion, it is not going to, and I'm not pooping on this community. There's no CDD out here. There's some other features as to why schools are one of them, right? The
Yeah.
Clermont schools are going to be right around that B range when you start to average all of the sites that rank them. And then over there in the Winter Garden area, they're more on the A range, right? So that could be another
Mhm.
reason as well. But once this connects, there's not going to be a real reason to, I mean, shoot, I'd save 80 grand myself.
Yeah.
I'd live over there. I'd take my kid to school and New Independence opens up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna drive my kid to school. Let's do that.
And they got Schofield Road open. It's about a 20-minute drive to Horizon West right now, even without that Independence Parkway currently opened up. It's under construction. They're trying to expedite it. But as we know, like as soon as that is connected, you're basically like minutes away from Winter Garden. So Pulte's going to know that and they're going to act accordingly. They're going to continue to raise the prices because it's only going to drive the demand, especially during a time where you can purchase a Pulte home. If you're a fan of a Pulte home, purchase a Pulte home significantly lower and experience a ton of savings.
We're going to show everybody a home tour, right? We're going to talk about the process with them, but we just wanted to make sure that we gave you our thoughts and our opinion on this community, the numbers, and so on and so forth. But from me to you, Chris, right? Like, so it's everybody else's job to make their decision out there. But I would save that
Yeah.
money and then bet on Independence Highway opening up if that's even something that I cared about, like being in
Yeah.
Hamlin Town Center, going to Winter Garden. But man,
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, I think there's going to be way more value when the Olympus project opens up. And I know we're talking
Yeah.
5 to 10 years from now before all that happens, but I think people in Hamlin and Horizon West are going to want to be over here. So
Yeah.
I really do think that there is some value in getting in right now. But yeah, I'll let the people
Yeah.
make the decision on that.
it's a happy medium because when you're exiting the community, you go to the right, you're going to be 5 minutes away from the Olympus project and everything that's going on there. And then when you go to the left on Independence Parkway, you're going to be 5-10 minutes from Hamlin Horizon West, which is mature, established, and developed in a very desirable area. So it's a happy medium. So I definitely see the value in getting in early and taking advantage of a community like this. Although prices have gone up, it is still significantly lower than real estate in Winter Garden. So it's something to take advantage of. And when you're purchasing in a community that's only 3 or 4 months old, there's so many different layers when they're allowing you to do any and everything. They are building a design studio within the community. So you're going to be able to pick your home site and then walk to the design studio and then pick every single thing from the home site, which is going to have a certain lot premium that is 175,000. We got to check out those home sites.
Yeah, like
But
we should have
you're
just
going to
straight
have
up just showed one of those home sites and be like, you see this
right?
home site? This is the most expensive one in the community.
But there's going to be so many different options. As you can see, you're going to be able to pick a pool within this community if you decided to do
talk
so.
talk to us about the pool. Let's get into that before we jump into the home tour. And then
Yeah,
we'll
for
talk
sure.
about like the building process and all of that. But they have what, three different pool packages, or am I looking at more? I see pool with spa, and luxury.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've got three different pool packages, but it ranges depending on the home site series. It's solely only for single families that this is an option to do so. And it's going to range anywhere from $119,000 to $200,000 to add the pool to your home. So yeah, the base price is one thing, but you can definitely run it up to a million price point just with everything if you just go all in and add everything.
Sure.
But please keep in mind, like you can add a pool. You've got the design studio option. There is risks that the builder takes when you go the to be build process because we're talking about 6 to 8 months that you'll be building your home, and a lot can happen in 6 to 8 months. Someone could potentially lose their job. Someone can uh, get a job transfer and all of a sudden not need to live in this part of Florida anymore. So there's a risk that the builder takes. So whenever you decide to add a pool to your home when doing a to be build in this community, they are going to require a 50% deposit for the pool package that you select. And also, if you exceed $50,000 in the design studio, anything above 50,000, they're also going to require a 50% deposit up front because they're going to want you to have some skin in the game. Because let's just say you build a very unique home that is nothing that's tailored to what's important for you and your family, and all of a sudden something happens and the deal falls through. All of a sudden they built a customized home that they're gonna have to find one particular buyer to purchase that home. So they're gonna want you to have some skin in the game if you decide to do some unique features in this community.
There you go, people. Listen, you got some free insider info there, okay? Gotcha. Hey, that's enough with the free stuff, Chris. No, I'm joking. That's good information, right? Like we don't want anybody, cause maybe there's somebody that's watching our videos that's deciding to go straight to the builder. By all means, do whatever it is that
Mhm.
you want. We recommend that you have representation. We show you on the channel all the time. It could be your Aunt Susan. Would love for it to be us. Best way to reach us right above. You can send us an email, team@morefla.com. But for those of you who are gathering info, going on your own, at least you know that there is a lot more money to put down when it comes to the pool, and you know why. At least I'm assuming no, that's not Independence Highway. Let's not.
No, no, absolutely not. We're in the community right now. It's towards the back. They're building out, roads and stuff like that. Because again, we're just in phase 1 of 5.
Yeah,
But again, like there's value in getting representation even in a community where they're currently selling a ton of homes and where you want to live at, because there's so many different layers to it. And we have a great relationship with a sales rep within this community that she is selling a ton of different homes and she's giving us insider information. So what better way to have someone that's going to help you navigate the process of building this home and building the home to an extent where you're going to make sure that you have value in the future, but also like who's still going to nudge the sales rep to see what they can do specifically for you, something special for you
yeah.
they
I
may
would
not
say
do
the
for
right
you in
sales
case
rep
you
too,
walk
right?
in. Yeah.
Our
Yep.
preferred
Yeah.
sales rep out here and in any community that we stamp as our preferred sales rep, it's there's not just one rep that works in the community, right? There's always
Yeah.
the luck of the draw, as we like to say, right?
Hmm.
In a community of this size, I mean, I would think more than two people are working out there. But either way, having the
Yeah.
right person on your side, as your representation and in your community is always at four. There you go, four reps inside of that community.
Yeah.
So, hey,
4 reps
look,
in that community. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say before we jump into this home tour, I had an idea when you were talking about the pool package, right? I would save
Go ahead.
like if I was somebody else like a Pulte geek, I was like, I just love this mahogany floor plan right here. I want it so bad, right? But the other community sells it for 80 grand more, whatever it may be. Check that, verify that number on yourself. I would save the money, live here, and then drop a pool in,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro.
Because, you can shop different contractors. You have a little bit more flexibility to check and see what price points are. So again, we got to take a little bit of a deep dive into seeing if you do get a better incentive or you get a better package by going through the builder, because that would be the only reason to do it. You get the convenience of just doing it all at once. You move in, you got the pool ready.
Of course.
But we want to make sure that you're getting a strong price point for what it is that you're doing. So again, that's just another thing. That's why like there's so many layers to buying a home where you're doing a to be build, because those are some of the miscellaneous things that we can help you navigate and understand. Like, is it worth spending 119 to 200,000 for doing it with
You're
the
paying
builder,
for
or is it
convenience, that's
better?
for sure.
Yeah,
Same thing when you
yeah,
buy anything that you buy from the builder, flooring, cabinets, countertops. That's why, and you're hitting it on the freaking head, right? When you go to that design studio, there are some things that we would recommend, because if you ask us, you should probably do it aftermarket, right? But some of
yeah.
those bigger structural items, aside
Hmm.
from the pool, right? Because you could still get that done aftermarket. If you're going to extend the lanai, if you're going to put a tray ceiling in, if you're going to do the gourmet kitchen, take advantage of getting that done ASAP,
Hmm.
and then save some of that extra. So we could do that aftermarket. You could save a little bit of money, and you can do it on your own time. Here's a
Hmm.
husband hack for everybody out there: don't do everything at once, because the wife's always going to have more stuff for you to do. Right? Have yourself a little list to do, and you'll be okay. You keep that
make
list
sure
out.
make sure you're handy too. But like, I mean, things like backsplash, like they're gonna offer you to do a backsplash, and sure, it's a part of certain packages, so you might just have to get it. But I mean, if there's an option to not have to add in something like a backsplash or something like that, like just do it after closing, because you'll
Yeah.
save money there. It adds
And
up.
if that's the goal, if the goal is saving money, for sure, we're going to find a
Hmm.
way to get that done, right? And then we always talk about future value, like leverage going
Hmm.
in, leverage leaving in the future, right? Some of those things you may not want to spend a ton of money on, because we want to make sure you're going to get money back on the back end.
Yeah, that's right. And also, what's pretty cool too is what's coming towards the end of this year is Pulte is already advertising their all gen floor plan, and this series is specifically tailored towards many people who have been wanting to purchase a home that has an in-law suite apartment style home, a home within a home.
But I
They're
got to
actually
see this.
competing
I'll
with
tell you what,
Lamar.
Lennar does
Yeah.
the best next gen. And then also Taylor Morrison does a really cool one too, where they do it above the garage on the rear loads. But
Mhm.
Lennar does the best, because we see some builders that have the next gen option, but there's still only one door, right? Everybody goes through the front door, and then they break
Mhm.
away inside of the home. Lennar does it where it's like, you got to go outside and knock on whoever's living in your home. You got to knock on their door. So I would love to see if that's what they're doing here. I haven't
Yes,
studied it
and it's going to be an
enough.
option. It's
Oh,
going to
cool.
be
I
an
can
option
see
to
it
add
here.
that second door.
There
So
it
it's
is.
just like Lennar. Like Lennar, those that we've helped people buy homes with Lennar. It's their next gen series, but you've got the front door to the main part of the home, and then to the right is, or to the left, depending on the orientation of the home, is going to be the second door to access the apartment. So with Pulte, when they're doing these to be builds, and they're already building some of these for clients that have already decided to move forward with this, is it's an option to add the second door to the home in the front. So, which is pretty cool. So it could be just like Lennar. But I mean, those of you that have been looking at the next gen floor plans with Lennar and have been wanting to get more upgraded features, and with Lennar, everything is pre-designed, so you don't have any say in this. The Serena or the Concord could be a really good option for you, because you get full say in everything. You get full autonomy to build the home exactly how you want it, and you have that next gen floor plan, all gen floor plan, which is pretty unique. And they're currently building a model that's going to be ready around September, October. So we're going to be looking
Dude.
to be out there, take
Oh,
some
dude.
video footage so we can put it back on the channel and make sure that it aligns with everything we're saying right now.
I want to help somebody build that. Reach out to us, people. I want to help somebody build that, man. I want to be a part of that one, man.
Right?
Make a next gen suite. That'd be really, really neat. Always reach out to
Mhm.
us via email, team@morefla.com. That would be really, really neat. But yeah, you hit it on the head, right? So next gen, usually Lennar would take the crown when it comes to volume, but out
Mhm.
here, level 3 in our book, you could start to do those structural changes. You can, go to the design studio. You could drop a freaking pool in if you wanted to. So it really takes it to that next level. You just
Yeah.
recently had some people that were level 3 buyers that were like salivating over next gen, but I can't remember where
Mhm.
you took them to. I think
Absolutely.
you ended
Yeah.
up going over there by the airport. There you were everywhere. This would be
Yeah.
perfect. This would be
Yeah.
I would assume perfect.
It's a
Yeah.
good option because for them, they were considering an apartment above the garage, but to know that they have an option with this floor plan to actually just add it to the side without having to go up and down the stairs could be a unique feature for them, could be an added benefit. So we look forward to bringing this potential option to them as they're still looking to make a decision. But with this floor plan, there's full flexibility and autonomy with what you do. So you can add a pool, you could do everything. And for our families, specifically the one that you just mentioned, they were bummed at the fact that you couldn't add a gourmet kitchen. They wanted everything done completely.
Yeah.
Now
There you
with
go.
these floor plans, the Serena, it's an option.
That's a perfect example. That if that's you, then you have that. Take a look at this view. One thing about being in Lake County, one thing about being on Highway 27 as you go north of Interstate I-4, you just start to see the hills, right? They start to really come into play.
Yeah.
You get up to like Montverde and you get up to Mineola, and I mean the hills really come into play, but you'll notice that in some of these communities. So if you're interested in, having topography and having not that really flat land, to peak in the Clermont area, check that out, and then start working your way a little further north here. Chris, talk to them a little bit about the warranty process with Pulte. What stands out? That type of thing.
Absolutely. They've got a 12510 warranty, which I know you've expressed is something of value. And we've expressed as something of value because they have a 5-year water intrusion warranty for leaks or anything like that. So, especially if you decide to build a pool in house, that could be an added benefit because if you're building it in house, you've got that benefit of that 5-year water intrusion warranty with Pulte, 10-year structural, 2-year plumbing, electrical, and then 1-year workmanship. And some of the things that we've been helping families understand. We have some families that they decide to opt in on the inspection, third party inspection prior to closing on their home. But we also have some families that decide to opt out of it. But I also kind of give them the reassurance where, hey, if you decide to opt out of the inspection, that's okay. The home has been built up to code and they've gone through a series of different inspections with the county that you've purchased within a home to make sure it's up to code. But within that first year, workmanship is included. So I always recommend if you want to hire an inspector 9 months in, to you living in the home, or maybe 10 months in where they do a full inspection report for you there, then you can go ahead and go through the process of doing a warranty claim all in one shot before that first year is up. So that way you can get everything inspected and done, whether it be cosmetic or anything like that. Because sometimes builders say, hey, if you notice some chips or anything like that, maybe wait towards the end of the year to just do one claim because they're only going to come out once.
They're only going to come out one time. Yeah, do it towards the end of the year. All of our people out there that work with us know that is one thing that we do recommend when we get closer
Yeah.
to closing. I guess wrapping it all up, Chris. I thought this was a great breakdown on the community, right? I think
Mhm.
people have a good understanding of at least how the community operates, what to expect. What is your summary of this community? What's your perspective on it, all in all?
My perspective on it is that this is going to be the place that you want to be, the community you want to be in within years. Because when Olympus is up and you've already got Hamlin Town Center that you're going to have full access to through the new Independence Parkway, once that's built out, you're going to enjoy the benefits of being minutes away from that. But then 5 years out, when the Olympus project is up, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. You're going to enjoy the benefits of that and having easy access to it where it's minutes away. So buying into this community, I think, is going to be strong. And for me, I think of real estate as kind of like geographical. And when we observe things like Silverleaf Oaks and other Pulte communities that are significantly higher in price point compared to this community, like we're interested in seeing how things develop based on what our current thought process is and our opinions are today. So we really look forward to following up within this community, seeing how it does in the future. And of course, like I said, reach out to us, give us a call. There's so many benefits to it. And I got one more thing to say to you.
What
But
you got?
again, that's everything I got to say from that perspective, in my opinion. What's yours?
Yeah, I mean, from me to you, I want to see what those $175,000 lots look like. 900 homes, there's going to be a lot of homes. I'm always thinking of the back end, right? Like, where is the value on the back end? I think when you compare this to the Lennar option that's right outside of the Olympus project, when you compare this to the used to be Landsea, now Trinity Family Builders inside of Ridgeview right there, there's just more options in homes, inside of the home, like what you're building. But the only way you can really take it to the next level and stand out within the community is what is that home site going to look like, what that lot looks like, right?
Yeah.
We always talk about those non-duplicatable lots. So I think if you can find a great lot in this community, you're going to win big, right? But I also
Mhm.
think that there's going to be 900 of these homes, so or plus, right? Let's just say there's going to be 1,000 people winning, right? If we just say this community is going to win, I'm trying to find out like how do we win within that 1,000 people that's winning, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that there is value there. That's kind of my next level thinking when it comes to that. But what else
Mhm.
did you have to say to me? You're going to say habla español?
Yeah, of
I
course we
knew it.
do.
I
That's
knew
an
it.
obvious. But no, but actually what's pretty cool too is that we've been taking a deep dive into the all gen floor plans. And those of you that are looking at the Serena, we've helped a ton of families purchase the Yellowstone floor plan with Pulte
Yep.
and also the Scarlet floor plan with Pulte. And just to give you a little bit of free game, please reach out to us or fill in on Susan on this information.
Oh,
But this arena is
Susan.
the I got no beef with on Susan. I gotta give her
Nobody
a
beefs
break.
her. She's doing her job. She might not like know everything, but she's at least doing her job, right?
But I mean, if you take a deep dive and you take a look at this arena floor plan and you compare it to the Yellowstone and the Scarlet, it is essentially like the same home. Because with the Yellowstone and the Scarlet, when you walk in to your right, you've got a bedroom with an ensuite. And what they're doing is converting that space, that area, and just minimizing the flex space just a bit to create that apartment within the apartment. So again, we've helped a ton of families purchase the Yellowstone, a ton of families purchase the Scarlet, and it's the same home but a different name. There's so many different orientations to the frontal facade of the home, and that's the reason why they name it differently, or maybe their square footage changes. That's why they got to give it a different name. But again, we do this all day, every day. And there's value in hiring representation,
I eat
hiring
real
the
estate.
more
I eat new
FLA real
homes.
estate
I
team.
eat
Yeah.
new homes. No, I love it, man. Like, yeah, that's really good perspective there. Anybody, we always recommend, once again, have you some representation. I know this was all like the good stuff, right? And hopefully you learned a little bit about that. But if you're ready to take that next step, would love to assist you with that. You can reach us team@morefla.com or text the number up above. You ready to rock and roll?
Hey, I'm done, baby. How about you?
I'm done. Hey, if you made it this far, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Catch you guys on the next one.